What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this video, we have the Netherlands is a giant city. Oh, not a country, a giant city. Okay. Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and let's dive right into it.
The Netherlands is hiding something.
Hmm.
You see a country that does everything right.
Yeah.
Fantastic bike lanes,
Yeah.
trains that work like metros,
Yeah.
and parking garages that get millions of views. But the Dutch have a secret. The Netherlands is not a country, it's actually just a giant city. And that changes everything for how we should view it and compare it to others. The Netherlands is the densest country in Europe. Wait, I know there's like two people in Monaco that'll get angry, so let me nuance it. The Netherlands is the densest real country in Europe. See,
that's more offensive.
People are important because they're kind of nice. They make us laugh, love, and also make it easier to deal with the fact that we're all going to die after a cosmologically insignificant short life. But the best thing about people is that they make it a lot easier to build things. The more people you have on a piece of land, generally the more money you have on that land as well. Put people close together and building gets better. Building a metro to a neighborhood of a city will cost less than building a new metro for every farm in the middle of nowhere. In dense urban areas, the cost of infrastructure is distributed among more people. The further you need to expand roads, the heavier the financial load. When people are separated, it becomes harder to share. Now we need our entirely owned supermarkets, hospitals, and schools. Now, density can only help us to a certain point, of course. It's not technically easier to lay a brand new train station in the middle of a city than in the middle of a field. But the main point stands. When we have lots of people together, we need to build less infrastructure to satisfy each other. The more consumers means that more people pay, meaning that you pay less. Infrastructure costs per capita are the highest in low-density areas and the lowest in high-density areas. So when the world asks, why can't we have nice things like the Dutch, the answer is not just more bikes. The Netherlands is actually made up of...
But then I low-key be like, bro, because I see where I see what he's saying with the math. Yeah, you can afford nicer things because there's more people pitching in. But low key, if I was living in a city that was like super populated, let's say like New York, where it's ridiculously expensive, I'd be like, oh, why? It's more people pitching in. Wow, I'm paying extra, paying these ridiculous, outrageous prices, and we a dense population here. What's the situation? So I guess there's that leads to more people pitching in, leads to continuously, I guess, the government buying nicer things and continuously building. And so now, I guess we get stuck in that cycle, but things get expensive because I guess so many people do want that supply and demand gets thrown in as well. So we got so many people pitching in, yeah, you can buy all these nice things. Then when you got supply and demand, you got so many people that want to come in, you can raise prices. Okay.
Two places, the Randstad and everything else. The Randstad is a cluster of the Netherlands' main cities and covers around 20% of the surface area in the Netherlands, but it is home to around 45% of the population. That statistic is crucial.
Whoa.
Almost half of the country lives in an area where the density is around 1,000 people per square kilometer. Half of the Dutch population lives in an area more dense than some of Europe's densest microstates, like San Marino or the Channel Islands. Compare the entire country's population density, as well as the Randstad, with the average density in the US, and the differences become even starker. Where the US's average density is around 30 people per square kilometer, in the Netherlands it's 500 across the country and around 1,000 in the Randstad. That's no small difference. In the Randstad alone, the Netherlands has a city density with practically half of its entire tax-paying population concentrated inside of it. So on the one hand, the Randstad is impressive. Dutch citizens can travel and afford infrastructure that brings them to all of its major cities in like 2 hours via public transport. But on the other hand, it isn't that impressive when that same area is shown alongside the New York metropolitan area. Half of the Netherlands lives in a place that's built more like New York City than the United States.
I get that.
In terms of
I get
distance,
that.
the Randstad's individual major
And
cities
that's why I
can be
compared it to New York, because I knew New York in the U.S. was a densely populated state. So I was like, New York,
seen more like individual city
city,
districts themselves.
state. I don't know.
Amsterdam, the business and financial district; Rotterdam, port and logistics; Den Haag, government and international justice; and then you have Utrecht. Nobody really knows what that city does anyway. The Netherlands' trains really are more like oversized, spacious metros. Even cities further away from the Randstad in the Netherlands are not that much further than the distance between Manhattan and the tip of Long Island.
Huh.
Now, we can interpret this two ways. Either the Netherlands is really small, or New York is just very large. But when we celebrate the Netherlands' world-class infrastructure, we should understand that things are made easier by the fact that it has a lot of people, and those people seem to not be that far away from each other. But the Netherlands, with all of its beautiful density, isn't perfect. Being a giant city also brings giant city problems. Even within the country, there are large public budget productions discussing whether the Netherlands is filled with too many people. The Netherlands may have a lot of bikes, but it also has the most personal cars per square kilometer, with the exception of Malta. Density may bring reduced per capita infrastructure costs, but density can also bring worse air quality. European cities have a dirty secret. Thanks in large part to denser living, few towns in Europe can match the air quality of similarly sized places in America. And the Netherlands is no exception. One of the densest places in Europe, the Netherlands has some of the highest rates of European children with traffic-induced asthma. Of course, there are important caveats to this. The Netherlands has a massive seaport and airport, but the Randstad, with all of its beautiful interconnected features,
I guess like when you got densely populated areas, you don't think about the pros and cons, and these are just some of the things that you get. Like, some things are going to be good the more dense the population is in an area, but unfortunately, there's going to be some things that aren't good about it. So it's like, with anywhere you live, whether you live densely populated, loosely populated, you got pros and cons. So you got to figure out which pros outweigh the cons more for you.
Giant dense city remains one of the most polluted areas in Europe. But density isn't the only thing that makes the Netherlands a giant city. It actually goes even deeper. Back in around 4000 BC, some humans noticed something. Land close to water, good. Food grow good in good mud. But Urk can't do everything on his own. Better Buruk put seed in mud, and Urk take food out mud, when mud turns seed into plant. Good. Now we have a lot of plant. Too much plant, but more food for Urk and Buruk.
Yeah.
We build mud hut for Urk and Buruk children, and some get bigger mud hut. And to carry mud and plant to mud huts, we need water near plant. So we build more mud hut on water land.
Yeah.
Water land flat. But Urk see problem. Too many Urk and Buruk child. Not enough plant or good water land.
Yeah.
Land dry. Urk angry. Urk have big thought. Urk change mud in water, and Urk can make more flat water land. Now more mud hut and more plant.
Yeah, you just
Urk and Buruk die. Urk and Buruk child sad. Urk and Buruk parent time short. Child wish they spent more time. Tell Urk and Buruk parent they were loved. But time make Urk and Buruk child But time make Urk and Buruk child learn. Urk and Buruk child show love to gone parent by doing the same. Build more flat water land for more plant and mud hut.
Yeah.
And their Urk and Buruk children do the same. Early civilizations were built on river valleys and great irrigation projects. They came with fertile land, provided easy transportation, food sources, and also fresh water. They were also built in valleys, which had a major advantage. They're flat. The Netherlands is not only dense like a major city, but the entire country is essentially a gigantic river valley, the place where urban development was born. It has some of the highest soil fertility in the world, partially inherited from its vast river system, and its intricate canal network provided easy transportation throughout its history, improved trade, and eliminated one of the biggest bottlenecks for good infrastructure in small but dense countries: the lack of resources. They're one of the flattest countries in the world, which helped remove a variable that produces high construction costs, variations in elevation. So when we look at the Netherlands, it's important to remember something. It has trams with the agility of taxis, windmills that work like house fans,
Yeah.
and neighborhoods built for walking. But the Netherlands has a secret. Not a secret that other countries can't follow or copy. Many places should be built like the Netherlands, but choose instead not to. But to be like the Netherlands, it's important to be built like the Netherlands. And the Netherlands is not built like a country. It's built like a giant city.
I get that.
Designing and building cities requires a deep understanding of physics.
I think the rest of it is just a sponsor, but dang, that's kind of crazy to think about. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on the video and what you think about the Netherlands being built like a giant city, being so densely populated. What do you think about the pros and cons that come with that? I know the Netherlands is an amazing country full of amazing people that are extremely innovative, and that are the water tribe. I call you guys the water tribe, but let me know what you think. If you guys enjoyed that, please don't forget to subscribe, get a bit of thumbs up, check out the next. I'll see y'all next time.